There's a lot of hatred in this country. It's always been there, but it's in the forefront now. So much hatred for the Republicans right now. So much hatred for President Trump. And you've seen this type of violence. Well, you've seen violence from the day that President Trump won the primaries. At all of his rallies, or most of his rallies, the haters showed up and they was fighting and carrying on. And even today, there are rallies happening around the country. Well, not this day, but it's still going on, where these people are Antifas, are wearing masks so you don't see who they are, and they are throwing water bottles and objects at the people who disagree with them. And they are very, very, very violent people. Very violent people. And in some cases, the cops are not, controlling these people. They're standing back and allowing this to happen. But we have evil in the country, evil in the world. And now that evil is not in control, it's out of control. It's angry about that. And as you know, the media, liberal media, the RINO Democrats, the RINO Republicans and the Democrats been just pushing hatred of the president. From day one. It's just a non-stop issue for them. One thing after another. They will not stop. And you have a lot of crazies out there who they hear this stuff and, they go nuts. They got their father, the devil, got their minds, and they do crazy things. So be careful. We're not living in a normal world anymore. We really, really are not living in a normal world. The devil is busy. And again, it's not a negative. We need to see this. We need to understand what's happening so we can also understand how to deal with it. Bad stuff, folks. Really, really bad stuff. And short of a miracle from God, it's going to get worse before it gets better, because the next 4 years, the Democrats are not in control. It's just the way it is. They're not going to be able to impeach the president. They're not going to be able to stop him from making America great again. And the last thing they want is for America to become great again, to be made great again. They don't want that, because if it does happen, they would never, ever, ever get back in control again. They would not take over again. It would be over with for the Democratic Party. Yes, it'll hang in there because they'll continue to fight in hopes that one day they can take back control, but it'll be a long time. And they don't like that. They love power more than anything else. They want to destroy the country. Matter of fact, for the last 8 years under the fallen Messiah, Barack Hussein Obama, they had that control. They were on their way to destroying the country. And they never imagined for a second that a Republican, especially Donald Trump type of a person, would get in and beat them out. They underestimated the voters. They didn't consider. And that's what happens when you're angry. You don't consider the outcome of what your actions at all. You're just crazy. You just do crazy things without thinking about the outcome. Because in your darkness of your imagination, you think everything's going to be fine. It is amazing. There was a shooting in Alexandria, Virginia this morning. House Majority Whip Representative Steve Scalise, a Republican from Louisiana, high-ranking Republican, was shot in the hip. And at least one other aide was hit in the chest, according to this report. And it was at a baseball practice. A white man, according to the report, walked over to them and asked, well, who is playing ball? is it the Republicans or Democrats out there? And they said Republican. And they became a little suspicious about that, concerned. They called the cops and told the cops about it. But by the time there was anything anyone could do, the shooting started. It's been reported that anywhere between 50 to 100 shots were fired. So that means that the shooter plus the officers were shooting. TMZ, this is from TMZ. Congress baseball shooter is a Trump hater. Anybody surprised? Congress baseball shooter is a Trump hater called to destroy Trump. Called to destroy Trump. 66-year-old James T. Hodgkin's son. Facebook page is loaded with anti-Trump posts. He's also a staunch Bernie Sanders supporter. Bernie supporter. That's according to TMZ. I am not surprised. You know who I blame for this? I blame the Democrats. I blame the liberal media. And I blame the right-o Republicans. I blame the Democrats for this shooting. They have been pushing hatred since November 9th, and even beyond that, before that. I blame them. Can you imagine had this been Hillary Clinton was in the White House or the fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, and someone went out and shot a Democratic representative, they would be blaming the Republicans all day long. I blame the Democrats. They preach hatred day in and day out. They are teaching people to hate the president. So I blame the Democrats for this. This shooter, according to TMZ, is anti-Hillary Clinton. He is a Bernie supporter. He posted in March, Trump is a traitor. This is according to TMZ. He posted that in March, Trump is a traitor. Trump has destroyed our democracy. It's time to destroy Trump and company. Amazing. I also blame CNN for day in and day out blaming the president, encouraging anger in the hearts and minds of weak people. That's where I put the blame. And especially with pushing this fake news. So this is what's happening in our world today. The haters are out, and they have given permission to be haters because the media, the liberal media, the Democrats, and the right-o would not cut this mess out. They want the president out, and they're promoting hate. So be safe out in the world today, folks. It's not, no matter who you are and where you are, it's not safe like it was in the good old days when boys were boys and men were men. A lot of angry people out there, a lot of people on medication, a lot of people on drugs, and they're just crazy people. There are a lot of people who have been taking drugs since they first started school. And can you imagine being on drugs for that long? Can you imagine being on drugs that long and then one day you miss taking your drug? You go nuts. And Satan take over your mind. And you go nuts. So I would recommend do what you want. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not giving medical advice. I would recommend not to let the schools and these crazy doctors give your little children all this mess. How about growing up in a normal way like we did? We didn't take drugs. The only time we took anything was an aspirin if we had a cold or a headache or something. You're not supposed to be giving your children all this stuff. And then they grow up and that's all they know is how to live by drugs. Well, that is crazy. It's some major stuff happening, folks. I am, because of all these illegal aliens and refugees who have allowed to come into our country, and knowing that they hate us because we are a Judeo-Christian nation, I'm concerned now when I'm out in the public, when I'm at a theater. I don't even go to theaters anymore because of it. Not necessarily because of that, but the movies are so boring now. We don't have real actors anymore. But when I'm at a cafe or in a grocery store, crowded place, I am very aware of my surrounding. Because I know, I don't care what the media says or what the liberals says or what anyone said. I think for myself, and I know what reality is. I know that these radical Muslims, these Muslims hate us because we are Christians. We are a Judeo-Christian nation, and in their mind, we are the big Satan. And they want to take over with their religion. And if we don't go along with what they want or believe in what they want, they will kill you. It's about that. And I don't care about no political correctness stuff. I don't want to pretend that it's something else other than what it is. And I'm not listening to the liars who tell us it's racism and all that crap. I stay with reality as much as possible. And reality is that America is the big Satan in these people's mind, and Israel is the little Satan. And they want to take over. They're killing Christians and Jews overseas like 90 going north, and especially Christians. Burning down their churches and everything. That's the reality. And somehow or another, folks, you got to stay in reality and not be seduced by the children of the lie. If a man is born a male, he is a male. I don't care how many dresses he wears, how much he cut up his body and attach other body parts to it, like one of those monster robots, or whatever you call them. It's still a male. Or a woman was born a female. I don't care how much you take it off and add on, she is still a female. You call it whatever you want. You live that false reality. But we got to stay in the presence of God.